Today I'm smoking Cajun Cheerwine jalapeno beef jerky over B&B Lump charcoal in the double-stacked Weber Smoky Mountain. Alright, so here I have a roughly 3-pound top round or London broil cut of Angus beef that I'm going to use to make jerky. Now I've already removed the excess fat from the exterior and gave it about 30 minutes in the freezer to stiffen up so I could easily slice it into 1/8 of an inch thick strips. For seasoning today, I'll be using some Backwoods Cajun jerky marinade and some freshly sliced jalapenos for some added heat. Now this marinade involves mixing the Cajun seasoning and some curing salt with water, but I'm not going to use water, I'm going to use Cheerwine. The Cheerwine will not only aid in color and add a bit of sweetness, but the acidity in the soda should help pull some of that heat from the jalapeno seeds and allow it to be infused into the beef to give it some real kick. That's at least my theory. Now once it's all mixed up in a bag, it's time to go in the fridge for the night. Now in order to cook or smoke beef jerky, you want to shoot for a pit temp below 200, but ideally between 140 and 170 degrees Fahrenheit so you can slowly dry the meat. If you watch my channel, you may be aware that I already made a video on how to smoke beef jerky on a Weber Smoky Mountain using briquettes. I use briquettes because they put out a consistent amount of heat. Laying them in a snake method helped to hit and maintain those low temperatures required to make jerky. But briquettes were created as a byproduct from the early auto industry. They're made of sawdust, binders, and clay, and they can leave your food with a bitter chemical-like taste. Lump really doesn't have that effect. It's real wood. That's why I prefer it. The only problem is that it burns much hotter than briquettes, which makes it hard to use when smoking jerky. Today, though, I'm hoping to solve this problem. You see, I own two 18.5-inch Weber Smoky Mountains, and from past experience, I know that if I dial the dampers down, I can get them to sit around 250 when using lump. So the way I figure it, if I stack one on top of the other, I'll have an additional water pan and a greater distance away from the coals, which should easily drop the temps at the upper grates another 80 to 100 degrees. At least I think so. Now after the jerky has sat in the marinade overnight, it's time to start the drying process. You can do this by laying it out on paper towels in layers in a dish, and once that's done, it's time to lay it out on our 2 cooking grates. As you can see, my calculations were correct. 160 degrees at the dome. Perfect. So I'm going to toss the jerky on and come back and check on it in a couple of hours. Alright, so it's been about 3 hours, and as you can see, the dome temp is reading right around 140 to 145. Probably a little lower because the jerky is blocking or soaking up a little of that heat from below, but either way, a great temperature to be at. Very happy with that. A check of the jerky shows that in this particular spot over here, some of it is almost done, or close to it. The rest of it is not and needs to be flipped and shuffled. Hot spots occur from time to time in smokers. It happens just because of the way the air flows inside or the way the wood is particularly burning. It just happens. From here on out, it's just a matter of checking the jerky periodically to see if it's done. What you want to look for is, does it look like jerky? And check to see if it's cracking when you bend it. It's kind of like a bend test on ribs. Total cook time at these temps varies on how thick you cut the pieces, but it should be somewhere between 4 to 5 hours. Well, let me tell you, this double-stacked WSM worked perfectly with lump. No bitter taste, just a nice smoky flavor, a nice cherry color, and man, that Cheerwine really helped infuse that jalapeno heat. Woo! Now, if you don't have Cheerwine where you live, you can use Dr. Pepper or something similar. It should work out fine. Well, that's my video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not. And like I always say, I hope you learned something. I know I certainly did. Thanks for watching.